Okay, you ready? Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or evil thinking. We do so because change the impression is marvelous and difficult. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm your host, Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist, here to get it ready. Soon to be joined by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. All right, let's get it started. You heard what I said. I'm not here for mental masturbation or ego diddling. If you came on here with your ego all out of whack, you came to the wrong place. I am not the one. I am not going to feed your ego or tell you something just to make you feel good. I don't do that. What I am going to do is enlighten you to what's going on in your world. That's why I call myself your third eye optometrist. I open that third eye. You know what? It's something that I've been lately observing some of our so-called conscious people. Some of them that I've been dealing with and listening to and following and checking out for a few years now. But something I noticed that's crazy. Some of our so-called conscious people aren't so much conscious as they are stuck in a mode. Now, what's that mean? Okay, I'm gonna tell you about some of our conscious people. They think they've gotten enlightened. They move away from Christianity and Islam and this, that, and the other. Okay, but they are as fanatical in their so-called consciousness as dealing with any Christian or Muslim who's new to a religion. And you know how it is with a novice. When they're new to something, they're more Muslim than the most Muslim, more Christian than the most Christian. And it's the same thing with some people who how can I say, who are novice to consciousness. I'm going to paraphrase here. One of the things Malcolm said is, be careful about criticizing someone that has not reached your level of understanding. Because remember, your ass didn't always know what you know. And what happens is you get caught up into some ego diddling, mental masturbation. We don't do that here. Yeah. I got in a debate even about the terminology we use. People that I respect get caught up in that mess. It's crazy, you know. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what it's about. I'm not gonna call nobody out, but I'm gonna tell you. I think I hear Nsoromma coming in the hotel. I want him in on this. See what he got to say. But at any rate, one of the things that trips me out is some of the terminology that we use. I have a problem with the word overstood. And I stated as much last night on Facebook. Oh yeah, by the way, on Facebook Live, y'all. That's right. Yes, indeed. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. Later on, as I always do, I will put the broadcast on YouTube and share it again on Facebook. When I do, subscribe to my channel, so you will always be aware when, you'll get notifications when the show comes up. At any rate, the word overstood. There's no such word. Somebody made that up, and they made it up to sound like, well, like one brother told me, it's a militancy liberation word. It's a word that those that are quote unquote conscious and militant use, so that they're not using words from, the King's English. They modify to fit their own, to fit us. I think that's a crop. So what does it say? Understand is, wow, what's that I'm looking for? Well, it said, understand is like you're not really understanding. So you have to overstand and state that you overstand, because understand is a subword. Under is a subword. Well, boy, that's the biggest crap I ever heard. Let me tell you something. And this is what I said, that we as Black people have the most colorful language of any people in the world. Not only that, but we have an ability that a lot of people don't have. We have the ability to code speak. And what that means is we can operate in the mainstream and speak the King's English. We have some people from our community that speak so eloquently that they have gone down in history as the most eloquent speakers that have ever stood on the land of the U.S. Just to name three. Frederick Douglass, beyond eloquent, a man whose words influenced a president. Malcolm X, beyond eloquent. Anybody that heard Malcolm X speak and wasn't moved, you beyond blind and dumb and what have you. And of course, Dr. King, another one, beyond eloquent. Dr. King, his speeches were so eloquent that he was declared the moral conscience of the nation. And of course, Malcolm influenced generations of people to stand up. So we don't have to make up any words. We can use the lexicon. And that's another thing. We do make up words and what have you. Some slang, some this, that, and the other. But because we are so eloquent, we have changed the lexicon. We have changed the American language, the quote-unquote King's English. But when you say ridiculous words, to my opinion, ridiculous words, my humble opinion, like overstand, do us more damage than good. I don't consider it so much a liberation there. What's going on in Delaware? I want to thank Queen Ruth Baker for letting me know about this. It's a message from the ACLU of Delaware. Is that right? ACLU? Yeah, ACLU. People who are incarcerated in Delaware prisons are uniquely vulnerable to COVID-19 and have been hit especially hard by the spread of the virus. A dozen incarcerated people have died so far from the virus. And the death toll will continue to mount both inside facilities and out unless we take immediate action to mitigate this crisis. Public health recommendations have made clear one critical tactic for containing the spread of COVID-19 in prisons: expanding avenues for early release. Senator Marie Pinckney and Representative Melissa Minor Brown have introduced House Bill 37, the Public Health Emergency Credit Bill. This legislation would create a public health emergency credit, expanding avenues for early release from prison during times of crisis, when traditional avenues for earned credits may not be available to incarcerated people. For every month served during a public health emergency, a person will receive 6 months credit, up to a maximum reduction in sentence of 1 year. This will reduce the prison population in an orderly and fair manner, relieving pressure on staff and creating better conditions for people who remain incarcerated to socially distance and mitigate the spread of infectious diseases. Send an email, phone call to your state senator and representative urging them to support House Bill 37. I'm sure that Rochelle Wilson of Make Some Intelligent Noise will have a lot to say on that. And she's been in the forefront of that fight for some time now, since the COVID. Joining me on the air, my brother in consciousness. Take my temperature. Am I good? Oh yeah, I'm good. Good. Yeah. Nsoromma in the house.
You see, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. We all right.
I heard you coming in.
I heard that.
It sounded good, brother. It sounded good on the radio.
Thank you, brother.
What's good?
Now, did you hear what I said about this word overstood? Have you heard overstand?
Yeah, overstood and overstand.
Yeah, you heard people, and some people use understand.
You know, it's all about, I'm coming out with a slang scenario. So,
wait a minute.
It's going to be in there. So, but I ain't going to be,
lean over here, son, brother, because I want people to see my man. Y'all see my man's face mask?
Hey, how you doing?
That's right, with the third eye on it.
Wow.
Yes,
Open Eye Radio Show.
Yeah, buddy.
True that.
All right. That's what I'll move this camera so see if we get you in there. Yeah. Okay. But like you were saying on this word overstand,
you know what I'm saying? So overstood.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, we got to get our own language for real, though.
Okay.
But
I just have a problem.
What does it really mean?
What does it really mean? Now, you know what? A brother broke it down to me. He said what it means is when you overstand something, you had the full picture of it. You had you had grasped the big picture. Oh, okay, and that's all well and good.
That's the same thing as I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know why it's such a thing for us to switch up stuff so much.
Yeah.
But that's the way the world evolves. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
We want to be a part of evolution.
Basically. Yeah, we are evolution.
Right, we are that. So why not apply that?
Right.
You said something too on the radio when I was coming in. You said like, the Christians and the Muslims, they all put their heart and soul in it more than the real Muslims and Christians.
Right. Especially when they know
my thing is, you want to find that within yourself.
Right.
If you a sewer, if you sew clothes, you go into sewing clothes and make your own, products and start selling them, and you go hard like that.
Right.
If you draw, you know what I'm saying? If you wash cars, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You invest in yourself like you invest in these other organizations that really don't invest in you like you do them.
How about the
you know what I'm saying? Brother. So it's really about understanding. It's a time in life now that we gotta really stand up on our own, and then the people that's on their own can see the people that's standing up on their own. And, that's where really the growth is. You know what I'm saying? When you know somebody that want to help themselves, and you'll appreciate helping them.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
if you see somebody that's just out there and they just always doing the dirt, and then they asking and expecting, people don't. you won't take to that.
Right.
It seems like you're being scammed or shamed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I mean, invest in yourself more than anything.
I heard that.
Get that overstanding to yourself.
All right. Well said, brother. Well said.
You know, I chop on you.
Word. Yep. Let me make sure we all in there. Well, talking about somebody that invested in themselves
Right.
and held their integrity and made our community proud.
Right.
And we respect it with the utmost respect.
Okay.
We lost a queen.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
We lost
Yes.
an empress. And that's Cicely Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
She was 96 years old.
Just think, to be able to make it that'd be about 44, 45 more for you, right?
Yeah. 34.
34.
Yeah. I'll be 60
coming. Something like that. You know. Yeah. So, I mean, to be able to almost see that 100.
Yeah.
That century.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that's a blessing in
itself.
It was in itself. And still being able to have all your
facilities,
talking.
Yeah.
You know, oh, man, that's a blessing.
So imagine in those 96 years, 70 of those years were 70 years of excellence from Miss Tyson.
A black excellence.
Black excellence.
Right.
Excellence on a level, black or white excellence.
I mean, to understand, to go from a slave to an activist to the world's most famous black woman, almost. You know what I'm saying? That's accomplishment in herself. That is that overstanding that she put into herself. You know what I'm saying? And she understood that she was gonna make an impact on the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's word. Yeah. You know. Well, as we mourn the passing of Cicely Tyson, we must recognize that she was as much an activist as she was an actress. Over 7 decades, 70 years in Hollywood. Cicely Tyson broke down many barriers as a black woman. Yeah. Thankfully, she was one of the few who was giving her flowers right up until the end, because we always gave her love whenever she showed up. From disruptive roles,
she demanded love.
It
ain't about giving. She demanded what she wanted.
That's
the spirit she had.
Yeah, I heard that. Well said, brother. You know, we were from disruptive roles to groundbreaking first. Cicely Tyson achieved a great deal in her 96 years. 70 of which she spent on stage and screens big and small.
Right.
And let's have a look. 72, she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress and a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a motion picture drama called Sounder. That was my first experience with Cicely Tyson. I was 11 years old, and I think it was my older sister Siobhan that took me to the movies to see Sounder. She thought it was important that I see that.
Right.
I appreciate you for that. Then, who can forget the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman?
Yes.
You know, she won an Emmy Award for that. And well, she should have. Now, go ahead.
She's one of the few black actors that has, what's that thing? All of them. What is it called?
Oh, the Emmy, the Tony.
But they call it something.
Oh, I forget what they call it. I know what you're talking about.
Yo, hit me up. Somebody tell me.
Yeah, tell us when they win all of them.
When they win all
like Viola Davis.
Yeah, when they win all the awards, hit me up and tell me what they call that. I forget. How many? Hold on.
Something like that. I can't remember either. But in 78, in the miniseries King, she played Coretta Scott King.
Igor. It's something like
that.
Hit me up.
Yeah, somebody know. Somebody know.
Hit me up. Tell me what's going on. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even think of it right there.
You know, well, one of my favorite roles was, it just shows her versatility. She played, what was it called? Bustin' Loose. Okay, and that was a comedy.
Yeah, Richard Pryor.
With Richard Pryor, exactly. I really loved her in that role. And of course, she played Roots, where she played Kunta Kinte's mother. You know, that's where. And I mean, the list goes on and on. We could do the whole show on just Cicely and how much enjoyment she gave us, how proud she made us feel.
But not only that, we can just talk about her on how she opened the door for us to do what we're doing right now, just on the experiences that we learned from her injecting what she injected in the industry of, Hollywood. Of course, yeah, man.
That's word. Because not only was it Hollywood, but it was also the Broadway stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just wow, man. Just the things that she did. And she never took a role that would be degrading to black women.
Yeah.
She would not play a prostitute or a drug addict or any of those things. Not to say those that played those roles didn't do it in a way that displayed their talent or whatever.
No, I mean, you gotta eat, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta eat, yeah.
Some people got morals that they won't go by.
Right.
Things that they won't do to, accomplish their goal. They don't want to get, when you got the foresight and you know what you want to do, you won't really do some of the stuff that you can harm you later on for when you make it to where you at. So you try to stay conscious all the time.
Right.
Of things like that when you really in Hollywood. You should anyway, because that's like giving open doors to they're gonna gossip anyway, but if it's true gossip, that's different.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's something that that I said, she never played a maid and what have you. Now the first black person to win an Oscar was Hattie McDaniel for playing Mammy and Going with the Wind.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people came down on her for that. Okay, but one, I considered the times.
I mean, you gotta look further past what is really in front of you. That was a breakthrough for the beginning of where we have come as blacks today.
Right.
On the other side of the good things that we could do. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I understood what Hattie McDaniel said when she said, look, I could play a maid for $800 a week, or I could be a maid for $8 a week. Which one do you think I'm going to do? So I wasn't real mad at her for that.
Of course, because she was smart.
Yeah.
You have to be smart. Overstanding is definitely being smart.
How about
Understanding is definitely being smart.
That's word.
That's just the way it goes. If you ain't understanding, you will get sucked up in the cycle.
Yes, you will.
And a lot of them do, because they don't read their contracts. You know what I'm saying? They fall for the 60-40 split. You pay everything, so that's leaving you with nothing. You know what I'm saying? So their language in the business of the entertainment and music is so slick and vicious that if you don't really know what it is that you own, which is yourself, and claim it, you'll be lost.
Yes, you will. Yeah, you will. And I'm gonna tell you, in case y'all didn't know, one thing that Nsoromma, as a businessman in show business, has explained to us many times, that the word show is little.
Yeah.
The word business is the big word in that.
Right.
Understand that. And those of you that want to be in show business, do your homework. Matter of fact, I would suggest that you contact Nsoromma.
Oh, I can direct you.
That's word. That's word. WHGE 95.3 FM, overnight.
Yeah. Yo, what's good? Kev, I see you too. Yo, Anna, you gotta link up with me, man. We just doing it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do a cut together. I'm on some other stuff now. We get ready to start shooting the videos and everything. Yeah, most definitely. Link up. Hey, yo, what's up?
The overnight brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, founders and builders of the Pearl Center. Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware.
Yeah.
Yo, man,
huh?
You hear about this football player?
Which football player?
Chad Wheeler.
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. Chad Wheeler beat up his black girlfriend, his white dude. He played for who? He played for? He played for the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think he was a starter, but he's now former Seahawk Chad Wheeler. He was arrested Friday on suspicion of felony domestic violence after incident at a residence in his Seattle suburbs. In this incident, he beat his girlfriend down, his black girlfriend. Okay, and he beat her down because he you gotta watch out being a Negro big wench. He told her to bow down to him.
My beeps getting. I gotta get my beeps ready.
No, you good. Yeah, because I go off on this issue. Because he told her to bow down.
Hey, when you get married, they can have in the vows love and obey, right?
Yeah, but they weren't married. That's just his girlfriend.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, and when she wouldn't bow down, see, I'm gonna tell you what happened.
He 75 pieced her.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man.
And he choked her. Now he's being charged with felony assault or something. What is that?
That ain't bad enough.
Yeah, felony domestic violence.
They always downplay that type of stuff when it comes to white people.
Yeah, damn sure do. Now he choked her. Right. See, here's how she got caught up in that mess. She's been playing Negro big wench with him. They've been doing this role playing where they be, having their fun, the sex and all this, that, and the other. Right. Where she come in and she play like, she the captured slave girl that she gonna give master some loving. All right. Well, she wasn't with it that day. She wasn't with it that he bowed down. Bow down, B. And when she didn't bow down, he jumped on her and beat the living hell out of her. God be damn.
This is one thing about me, man. I don't condone hitting.
Right.
Any women, man.
No.
Period. You know what I'm saying? I'll shake them to pieces, believe me. But I won't put my hands on them. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference,
Right.
They can squeeze them, you know what I'm saying? Hold them so they can't beat you up.
Right.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? But me as a man, I know a woman can't take the force of my anger if I really was to you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Bust them in the face or wherever I hit them, you know what I'm saying? And when I see other men do that, it staying hairs up on my neck.
Heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard that, bro.
But then you don't want to get involved because you don't know you can get killed in a situation.
Right.
It's like it's a lot to that. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you can do is really call the police and then videotape it maybe so that if it's too bad you take and bust them in the head with a brick to calm them down or whatever.
Right.
But, I mean. You guys stay in a safe zone with stuff like that because the next hour they'll be hugged up, loving each other. So that's real delicate.
That's real delicate. Anyway, man, when she wouldn't bow down, he beat her and he choked her with both hands. Now this dude is 6'7". Yeah, 300 pounds. He didn't need to use both hands to choke her with those big hands. He got to put one hand around her neck and choke her like a rag doll.
Legally, it's a 4-second choke and a 10-second choke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just so you can control the situation.
Well, he choked her out. She passed out behind his choke.
That was almost murder.
Right. And when she came to, he said, "Oh, you still alive?"
Yeah, that was almost murder.
So he meant to kill her.
Right.
So the charge should be attempted murder.
That's what the charge
on this bastard.
Right. But again,
once again, it's a white dude.
Now, how do blacks stop that injustice right there? Because that's where it lies at. It lies in the court system.
Right.
It lies in the system where all of us are affected. It's not just one black person. It's every black person when it comes to this legal system. Even the black people that's lawyers and judges that's even in the legal system is treated such way. You know what I'm saying? So how does that come to an end? That we have to click that head.
Well, you know what? And I don't want you to think that I'm calling anybody out for being in an interracial relationship.
Because it ain't about that. I mean,
I prefer black women.
But we,
all right. But you got to realize everybody has their preference. Okay. So when you have your preference, all right, you have to understand and realize what kind of baggage they bring to the relationship. And if you don't check that from the gate, you mess around and, as a black woman, you get this white guy and everything's everything. And this has happened here of late with the emergence of the orange disaster.
I mean, yeah, he stirred up all of this, after Obama 8 years. You really don't hear anything about Obama, even though I don't think that he made a real difference for the blacks. Because he could have changed some of these laws. He could have made it like the Ku Klux Klan terrorist group. He could have did some of the things that could really change this American government and the way they think about us.
Right.
And
that's what
legally put it in effect. So if we respond, we wouldn't get in trouble for responding because this is legally stated that it shouldn't be done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right. But I won't get too far off of what I'm saying about when the emergence of the orange disaster and the effect that it had on some of these white men and white women in interracial relationships.
Right.
Okay. They heard the orange disaster and that whiteness welled up in them. All right. And as my mate, you need to adhere to what my beliefs are. Wow. And if you don't, I'm going to choke your ass out.
I mean, that's basically in every relationship, but since the orange disaster has stirred all of this up again, you know what I'm saying? I think it's going to get a little worse. I think it's going to get a little worse, homie.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. And because they're not done. They're not done. But like I said, when you're in these relationships, be careful of who and what you're dealing with. Because what you're dealing with is someone who generations of influence, counts to them or dictates to them white supremacy, whether you're in that relationship or not. Now, the surprising thing with white women is their support of Republicans. And check this out. Woman asks, this is what women say, can I have birth control?
Right.
Republicans say no. So the woman said, okay, I couldn't get birth control, so I got pregnant.
Okay.
Can I have an abortion? Republicans say no.
No.
Women say, okay, you prevented me from having an abortion, so I'm carrying the fetus, but my employer won't provide reasonable accommodations and is threatening to fire me. Would you please pass the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act? Republicans said no. Now, the crazy thing, in most advanced nations, when there is a pregnancy, not only, I think it's like in Norway and Germany even, not only does a woman get time off for her pregnancy, but her mate, husband, spouse, whatever, gets time off to help with the baby, with the pregnancy and everything. Here, a woman get pregnant, they're going to fire her ass. It's crazy. So,
wow,
they're not going to protect her with her job with the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. The Republicans said no. So the woman said, okay, I had the baby, but I'm out of work. Can I have WIC and food stamps until I get back on my feet? The Republicans said, nah, we cutting WIC, we cutting food stamps. You're just lazy. Are you kidding? No. Okay. So the woman found a job. But the job doesn't offer insurance. So she asked, can I have government guaranteed insurance? No. Okay, my kid got sick and I got fired because I missed time caring for him, So can I get unemployment? No.
Yeah, they say no. Them just like they said no to all of the blacks.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
for everything, they shot them down. Just like, but it was like, oh man.
So the woman said, "I'm having a hard time getting my kid from school consistently. Can we fund after school programs?" No. Okay. So the woman said, "I'm prepared to work to support my family. Can you make sure that a full-time job's minimum wage is enough for me to take care of my family?" The president said, "What's the matter with you and your family? There are families working 2 jobs, and that'll lift you out of the poverty. What kind of mother are you letting someone else watch your child while you work? Well, if she don't work, her child gonna starve. What the hell is wrong with you people?" And they say, "Oh, yeah, well, it's entirely your fault. You shouldn't have had a child if you weren't prepared to take care of it." Ain't that a blip? And this is their mindset, which is so surprising that so many white women supported the orange disaster, support the Republicans.
Right. I mean, this is the way the government think about us.
Right.
Period.
Right.
If it ain't dealing with money, or if they're not getting any type of compensation out of your benefit of being on this planet, which everybody has a right to be on, I mean, they're gonna just do you dirty as dirty.
That's what they're gonna do.
You can't
That's
depend
what they're
on
gonna
people.
do.
You can't depend on them people for nothing.
No. And what white women need to realize is the history of their relationship with white men, which of course is why women's lib come along. But before they had black people to oppress, the stuff they practice on white women, burn them at the stake as witches.
Yeah.
They owned them, you know, and if they didn't do as they was told, they would kill them.
Like they do now.
Like they do now. That's word.
That's the thing. Will this violence ever stop? I mean, it's a yin and a yang to everything, so I would say no.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just on the real.
Yeah.
So it's all about we want to be on the violent side.
Yeah. You know?
That when people start thinking of that, that's when the problem gonna really start arising. You know what I'm saying?
That's word. Oh, something else I've been meaning to address, brother.
Right.
Is George W. Bush. Now, I've been noticing, like at the inauguration, he was there. Him and Michelle Obama's real buddies. I don't understand
that. Know that?
Yeah. He give her candy and she smiled and hugged him. I don't know what that's about, but okay.
He squeezing me.
Yeah, see.
Now, yo, you stupid.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Both of them like, yo, I'm holding this heat right here.
Yeah, you know.
Oh God.
Let me tell y'all something.
What?
Don't get George W. reprieve because of the orange disaster. He ain't got no business at the presidential barbecue either.
Nope.
Don't forget, when George W. Bush left office, he was one of the most reviled presidents in modern history, even by Republican estimations. But now,
go ahead.
All right, but now he's found a path to rehabilitation, reminding everybody how much worse the orange disaster was. But you still don't get a pass for that.
But see how fast the people forget.
Yeah.
People forget fast.
I
mean the baddest stuff.
Yeah.
But they can remember the stuff that really don't.
Oh, I tell you what.
Yo, that's crazy.
I tell you what. I bet you if Obama had did the crap that George W. did, they will remember that ass. You can blame
any of them that did slice these. This president didn't do nothing. He stayed clean for 8 years. He didn't get
no drama. Obama
drama out of him in no aspect and no facet.
Right.
If it was, he settled it, and we didn't know about it.
How about
what
that?
I'm saying? As the public, so I mean, it's messy the things that's going on.
I'm telling you, it is big time messy, bro. Just like you said, it is messy. You know, like I said, I'll bet you what. If no drama Obama had done half the things, George W. lied us into a war and all kind of other crap. You know, ruined the economy. I mean to the point where you know what?
Bailouts.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he messed up so bad. This is how bad he messed up. He messed up so bad that white people said, let's give his brother a try. That you know you done messed up bad when they fire you and hire a black man. That's what I don't care how liberal and progressive and this, that, and the other are. That's word. George W. messed up so bad America elected a black man.
But again, once again, it wasn't America that did that. We had to get him out of there. It was the black votes that counted that did that.
Yeah.
You know, that was the difference. And for us to do it again with this Trump thing, a lot of white Republicans, lawyers, and state troopers and stuff like that, that's really Republican for, you know, the Dixie line flag. They the ones that stormed the Capitol.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of our numbers, our turnout in the numbers. You know what I'm saying?
And they wouldn't turn that around.
I mean, what they was doing was for just cause, for their belief. You know what I'm saying? But because of the reason they did it,
the reasoning behind it,
right? You know what I'm saying? It's a real unfair justice system that is going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about the black people that got locked up that was involved in it?
Yeah.
Got $1 billion bills, and the white people that was involved in it, they just smacked on the wrist and let them go.
Right.
I mean, see, that's what I mean. This justice system has to collapse.
That's what.
And be rebuilt by all sorts of nationalities, so everyone can have input in the fairness of the. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like.
That's word. Now you heard of Khalif Browder? Just to give you an example of what you were saying. All right, Khalif Browder allegedly stole a backpack when he was 16 years old.
So that make him a thief now.
Yeah. Okay.
Forever.
Well,
I mean, forever. Now it's on his record because it got to the law.
Let me tell you about him.
That's crazy.
He spent 3 years at Rikers Island without a trial.
Wow.
For allegedly stealing a backpack.
Allegedly.
16 years old at Rikers Island. Do you know what Rikers Island is like in New York?
That's one of the worst prisons in New York.
Maybe in the country. 3 years.
I mean, 16. You ain't supposed to be able to go to Rikers Island until you're 18.
Right.
So
and you can't deal with it then.
Right. So when you in there at 16, it was something that was violated right there.
Right there.
The judge or whoever sent him there need to be investigated.
Right. So he came out of there. And you know what Khalif Browder did?
What?
He killed himself.
Oh man, that's terrible.
So that tells me what happened to this young man in prison, in jail, at 16 years old, very little experience in the ways of the world, no experience in the criminal justice system or the environment in the hardcore prison.
Right.
He wound up somebody's girlfriend. He couldn't live with that.
I mean, a real lion wouldn't be able to.
Right.
You know, he'd have to kill everybody that was involved or kill himself.
And that's what he did. He killed himself. Now, fast forward. Riley Williams stole a laptop from Speaker Pelosi's office and tried to sell it to the goddamn Russians. She was released to her mother. She's breaking
the Capitol.
Stole
the United States of America.
Yep.
And stole
the Speaker of the House's laptop. Nancy Pelosi.
It got all kind of top secret and unburst. I mean, the top secretness of the secretest stuff on it. Come on, man. I mean,
you ever heard of the Rosenbergs? The Rosenbergs in the 50s allegedly sold nuclear secrets to the Russians. You know what they did to the Rosenbergs?
No, I don't know what they did to them.
They executed them.
Their name's still around there.
Yeah, because you know some trumped up stuff going on. But little Miss Riley Williams got sent home to her mother. See, two justice systems, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. Now, of course, with the COVID, I've been tested 4 times, brother.
Oh, well, it's nothing.
Yeah, I've been tested 4 times, and of course, that vaccination is out there. There's a nurse who's angry that she got a vaccination, still came up positive.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, the news is not telling you that this vaccination is killing people and giving them infections and stuff like that. It's not a cure to what is going on. So what is the reason for you taking this vaccine? What is the benefit of it? I mean, I can't see it.
Well, I tell you what.
Rest in peace. One of my buddies just died.
Yeah, I saw that, bro. Rest in power, man.
This is serious. This is a serious disease, the virus that's going on, and it's affecting a lot of us too. And people don't believe that it can hit so close to home until it's like
until it does. Yeah, until it comes to your door.
This is real. So stay covered up.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what my former coworker and friend Bessie said. She said, "I'm waiting and watching because it takes years before they can know about certain meds. I'm good. I will still be like Michael Jackson with my mask and moonwalk my ass 6 feet away."
Stay that 6 feet, girl.
Stay that 6 feet. That's a doggone sure. Stay that 6 feet. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma. Yo, what's good? Nigga, I see you. What's happening? Lisa, Tasha, what's good? Yo, Huff, what's good, homie? Jason, hey, yo, get in. I see you. What's up, son? I do. Good looking out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? It's all now. You know.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter hit me, so I'm gonna hit you right back.
Man, I got so much stuff here. It's 5 minutes to 12.
Oh yeah. This is time for the rant.
Yeah, it's time. So I'm pulling it all up now. Okay.
Yeah. Every Saturday, the Open Eye Radio Show. We drop science. If you want to come talk, if you want to be a guest on the show, just hit us up and let us know. If you got good information, we got a broad perspective of a lot of things that's going on. So, yo, reach out, hit us up, shout us out, share us, subscribe, do all the up and the above. You know what I'm saying? Nsoromma in the building, Mr. Gibbs. Yeah, Open Eye Radio Show. You dig?
And I'm like, WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. Nsoromma, as always, our hour just flies by.
Almost definitely.
Yes, stay tuned for Timeless Thomas.
Yes.
Coming up following The Open Eye. All right. Let me get ready to close this thing out here. Let me tell you something. Man, slavery did a number on us. We still haven't recovered from the effects.
Most definitely.
After having our culture, heritage, and language brutally beaten out of us for centuries, we have yet to even approach the road to recovery. You know what? Willie Lynch's plan is still working. We still have yet to unlearn the self-hatred the white man taught us.
Right.
We still have yet to realize the self-worth the white man taught us we didn't have. We still suffer from the slave mentality. Did you ever go to a Jewish lawyer and meet a doctor? The lawyer will refer you to a Jewish doctor who will send you to a Jewish specialist. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. They are doing the right thing by keeping it in their community. Did you ever ask a black man where to go? Too often the first thing he'll tell you is, an N-word can't do a thing for me, and then send it to the white man outside this community. Yes, we still suffer from the slave mentality. Even at this late date, we are still foolishly chasing that integration nightmare, seemingly refusing to accept the reality of our situation. There are, in fact, two sets of laws, like I told you, as administered. One for whites, one for blacks. How else could blacks, as 12% of the population, make up 52% of the U.S. prison population? There are two sets of wage and prices. There are two forms of education, or rather, there's education for whites and miseducation for blacks. School desegregation and busing was a joke. First of all, it was another manifestation of our slave mentality.
But I can remember back in the day when they didn't bus us, and when they didn't bus us, and when we would like participate in the sports and anything that was dealing in like competitors, we would always crush them.
We were always dominant.
Everything, right?
That's right.
And I was crazy.
But what did we do? Please take our poor black children to your superior white suburban school and learn them. Second, integration is really non-existent. Bus our children miles away to hostile suburbia where they're placed in predominantly black classes and taught to serve rather than produce. It was a joke on us. Our so-called leaders are foisted upon us and propped up by the mainstream media. Any leader that has the audacity that we have the audacity to choose on our own are branded racist, violent, corrupt, and are quickly discredited by the mainstream.
I mean, why they aren't branded racist when they doing their thing?
Yeah, because they control the mainstream media.
Right.
See, we cannot travel freely in certain areas. We cannot live in certain areas. We cannot hold certain jobs. We cannot.
Disgusting, man.
Yeah, we cannot control our communities. We are completely conquered people living in an oppressive society. We are a colony within America. That is the death to which we have fallen. That's where we are. And until we decide to do something about it, that's where we'll be. Stop depending on others to come into our community and thinking that they're going to do something for us. They're not. It's up to us.
Yes.
Now, do not take this work that we do here as a fantasy of some Farrakhan, Malcolm X militant wannabes.
Right.
What we bring you is the result of intense study of our situation, which is why we call it the open eye. Wake the hell up. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
Destiny decides who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you. And don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. Thanks for joining us.
True that.
WHGE
95.3 FM. Yeah! Me say, what's good? Oh yeah, most definitely. We gotta treat us all better. We gotta treat each other better. Everything. We gotta just work together and do better things.